the aseda be nyame. Now also what to say?
Nyame adum kran kakra. Na me twa mo aba na nke de. Letter yensaka from o general secretary a official.
Me patron.
The one on Koko Anyido ho no.
Me patron official.
Oh, okay. Okay. In the see ano or suspended.
Yes.
Meaning say ontimi holding ho as a member of the NDC for now.
There be.
Oh, okay. Okay. Until say disciplinary committee decided otherwise.
Sabe pepe.
Fair can you then
functional executive committee of the party. Non in charge of the day-to-day administration of the party. You're talking about all elected officers.
Oh, okay.
Of the party. Yes, and some appointed officers like Director Legal and his deputy, Director of Special Duties and his deputy, International Relations and deputy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a few other
in the fact on a steering committee.
Yeah, and then you have also representatives from the leadership of the minority, not leadership per se, but from our parliamentary group. Yeah, so all elected national executives plus representation from your parliamentary group, and then appointed, officials. International relations, like the officers I mentioned, special duties, and so on. So that is functional executive committee in the party. But that party, their and the party management, that is fake. Responsible for that. Yeah.
But suspension before appearance to the party's disciplinary committee in AFA.
No, that is Sana party Mraneka. Party no be to me actually was saying. So now we refer a seven disciplinary committee. Into koho na yedi we say where the be muhusuwa. Then the suspension will be lifted because this is not a dismissal. But Okoni say Udifo. Na ebia yewe ne bia wanya and as ebia because of the seriousness of offenses now, then the disciplinary committee can recommend even harsher punishment, which may go beyond suspension. It can be expulsion, you understand, or other forms of punishment that running more to recommend to fake to take a decision on that. And I don't think it's new. So many people while they were suspended and referred to the disciplinary committee. That has been the practice at NDC. The first time apply this process.
Okay, now Michelle letter now articles are mujina so 46.1.
Yeah.
46.6 and 48B.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the party's constitution. To with immediate effect, your membership of the NDC be suspended, and that the petitions be referred to the party's disciplinary committee for further action. In the decision, be a committee in the Batuno, and also more refer fake, not fake jitum, and more rejected.
Yes, exactly. So, all those committees no work under the functional executive committee of the party. No committee's recommendations can be final. If in the wisdom of the functional executive committee, committee be findings and recommendations be was a reviewer, it will be reviewed. If it has to be revised, it will. Yeah.
No, because me must say article 46, the more amended.
None that I'm aware of, honestly.
Okay.
None that I'm aware of.
Okay. And it will cross check. Ekosiisen the higher Sempa 94.7 FM. That's the information. Mr. Koko Anyido has been suspended from the NDC pending his appearance before the disciplinary committee of the party. Committee are more the mandate to investigate petitions mienu aba against him and more recommendations na fake asahi atnase Aji Ede Atum. Now there's a fake no or neck no is a higher body, right? Than fake.
Yeah, neck there. I mean neck is a bigger body and a higher body. In the hierarchy of the party, there is neck and then there is fake.
There is fake.
Then you go down to the Rex. Because at neck, then you are dealing with representations from across the 16 regions of Ghana and other members.
And so to suspend a former general secretary, fake to me. And what's a
but there is no position like former general secretary in a party. You are a member of the party unless you are holding a position.
It's a fact, or a former general.
No, your position. And that is not a position. When your office be a friend of former general secretary.
I don't remember saying say a position.
So it's not a title. So if you tell me say to suspend a former deputy general secretary, what are you talking about? Whether even if you are former flag bearer, you are a member.
A member of the party.
So your party ni yimuni timra. Say ordinary member be a branch member crowd from where they be so we are even the national officers, me and my senior brother, I respect him so much. Honorable Kofi Adams, he was suspended, right? He was a national officer. I think national organizer at the time. Even I think we've suspended the general secretary before. Josiah Aye was a general secretary. And I mean, Alote Jacobs, it was the same thing.
So also appear before disciplinary committee.
So it's a suggestion being made say will be above the law, and no one is above the party, and nobody is above.
It is a band saying as a Nipano committee in front of one. What happens?
That they will do their reports
they will
and factor that into more recommendations. Yeah,
you do that level. They are not communication and are dismissal.
It's possible. It's possible, sir. If you go and you make a solid case, say the accusations against you unfounded. I mean, they are. I can't say. We have been for Sebi or more dream without. Obviously, I'm not by because of petitions against the man of Crown Bibianya in him. But say, Okona Kokawasem Nina no Musa away the entosum, we are Jitum Wenye na Udifo. Then they will make their recommendations. Say, the suspension should be extended to a certain point, and after that, lifted. Or the suspension should be indefinite, pending you showing remorse and doing certain things so that you can be recalled. Or that you should be expelled from the party. Visa.
Because of the nature
union bia association bia emrada
because very of the nature of
let's make progress.
When say my opponent MP before the back criticize them or say when it happens you all over criticizing
not even good.
So
we are invoking articles of the constitution,
but they also did say
so when you take disciplinary actions against members, not just when you're united.
But that's what you said about them.
No.
When they suspended the
it was not. That was not what happened. They went and forcibly attacked their national chairman Afoku, and forcibly locked his office at the party's national headquarters. That one was not it was not an invocation of the rules or the laws of the party to deal with Obi Omufrizewaye in discipline. Some of them, their cars were vandalized and smashed. Do you remember what happened to Zame Krab? Upper East Regional Chairman, do you know how he died? And acid near the goodness. So then we party disciplinary process. So they were just engaged in violence. And lawlessness. See, that is not what is happening here. Nobody has attacked anybody. You'll be an assault, you'll be an attempt. Petitions have been brought against you. Say you have engaged in anti-party behavior. What do you say? Fake atanaso. Or my prima facie evidence. So no free say the prima facie evidence and is sufficient for them to take a decision. Say they are suspending you pending investigations. Pending investigations, there no be any Ukona utimi ko church was and you are cleared. Ukona when Tian Church was a suspension and no person will recommend they will recommend it. If they want to recommend any other punishment to the way. A very, very normal. Me cry me tie, say me mistakes this year, nama, man to my namo, yeah, we wait me the petition. Penny for bear no was as I made was here suspended. I will not be above the law. A bassa, no, I'll go through. That's how it is.
But maybe in Subeka say yes, and I say more gaggy dissent in the party.
No, there will be a say dissent in the suspend you. The reasons have been stated that they need dissent. Dissent who?
But the content of the petition is public. And
I have not read the petitions. I've not read.
Oh, you've not read the petitions. The petition from Eric.
Let's make progress. I've not read any petitions. In fact, at the said fake meeting, I wasn't there.
Oh, no, okay, that's fair. Ekosiisen is in the higher Sempa 94.7 FM. So, what many lawyer Sami Jemfini Edin Komoye, one of the spokespersons for the petitioner in the ongoing election petition case. But first, he is National Communications Officer of the NDC. And for those of you who want to know what the party's constitution says, no, clear, said the lawyer Sami Jemfi Ekaya, at least. And I know said this is the original constitution of the NDC. Article 40 can about party discipline. Party discipline. Said the discipline of any party member shall be exercised by the respective executives of the party at the various levels on the recommendation of the disciplinary committee of that level. Save that the executive committee at each level may suspend a member for a period not exceeding 6 months, if in its opinion such suspension is in the interest of the party. Where the executive committee suspends a member in accordance with clause 1 of this article, it shall within 1 month from the date of suspension refer the matter for adjudication by the disciplinary committee. Where the executive committee fails to refer the matter to the disciplinary committee within 1 month, the suspension shall lapse unless renewed. The executive committee may renew the suspension for 5 consecutive months only. For the purpose of clause 1, every level of the party organization except the ward and the district shall have 3 member disciplinary committee elected by the executives at that level, who shall not be members of the executive within 4 weeks of coming into office. Some is a constitution they cast executive committee and a fake. It's a fake executive committee.
No. Said there are executive committees at different levels. So regional executive committee, constituency executive committee,
and a national executive committee.
Yes.
And the national executive committee should take the decision.
What are you saying?
Based on Article 40.
FEC is also an executive committee. It's a functional executive committee.
No, but the party has the National Executive Committee.
No.
But you just said
NEC doesn't suspend
a body.
NEC in Ekosiisen, because this is an issue which has arisen in the day-to-day administration of the party. When it comes to disciplinary actions, it is taken by the functional executive committee.
But that's not what the Constitution
I know that
says.
the functional executive committee works for and on behalf of the National Executive Committee. That is why periodically there are NEC meetings and FEC reports to NEC. And he said, eventually in this year NEC meeting, there will be, as part of reports about the decisions the party has taken and activities and all that, this may be part of the briefing the General Secretary or the National Chairman will give to NEC. The body, I always say, take his decision, suspension pending investigation is fake.
In the executive committee referred to here, no, cover fake.
But it's fake. It's not about covering fake. It's fake. Fake is functional executive committee. So.
Okay. Ekosiisen in the higher Sempa 94.7 FM. So I mean, in the Yemra, the reason why we are here now, if it's important to clarify for party members, be 80, you know. And Moko Court, lawyer Tatusi Kata for close to 1 hour 30 minutes on application be a counsel for first respondent at the Ebae. It be a trite law Say yes, me na me want me witness. Now me say me share how a case ne kwa I'm not interested in putting my witness in the box. I don't know what's the problem. You should be happy. Say my case you believe in the strength of your petition and the case mo put it before the court. E was say mo boshire say almost your mom for mo witness then the court will rule on your case.
Let me start from your question. Say yeah, case we easy for say omo frɛ omo dancing omo banu dani Jimensa 2020 omampenya bato aye to ye no ono na oye returning officer kyerɛ ono na esi ni na so a oye bibia.
Yes.
Ya kyerɛ di nti a ye ne omo nyaadwen na me kyerɛkyerɛ sa nyama ni nyina bado bi mamini kanka sa de we a esi nura nneso yakwa twe ho dare e wo court no asefem na reho because media and then me take court na my din and I felt sorry for Jimensa
Aden
because enimguase ato no ani soso me hu bi da me nya sure say openyimu bi aba be da saa adwumayuku na no eye electoral commission afasa enimguase we mu da
enimguase.
No, today was a day of shame for Jimensa, the EC chairperson and returning officer for the 2020 presidential election. A day of shame for the Electoral Commission of Ghana. I mean, a ferry.
Taking advantage of an opportunity in the rules of court. How is it ferry?
First of all, rule be anywhere no makutu no court and more quite to do their work. And it's about the issue of rules. But the petition about court. So what would you why as EC chairperson relative to 2020 presidential election about Tunzuzu and so about their two jano. One yeno pampaso. Because o mampenye kufuado wa wesi wedi nkunim no. Weni nkunim. Yes, se wankasa u figures ni information wo declaration ni mu weni nkunim. Nti we wi abanimu na dia ma no. Ya dia asem ne be dan court a e kan ya asem nyina wie ya dia friend petition. Easy for the omanu ye e bae. Anu ye omo de bae no. Mami Jimensa, una won sasha ase. You signed the answer to the petition. The answer of the EC to the petition. That's the first respondent. Now, sign sa answer na anu ye na o kase de ye kan nyina anya no kre e say o mampenya kufu ado we ni ampa na. Now, emrane say what sounds why ye de friend no affidavit of verification. Just en semo a waka nyina no. Uswai say sansem na waka no efri wankasa won chen na odiaba. So your answer to the petition no is supported with an affidavit of verification. That just who verifies and some waka ni nyina no efri wa won che wagya to.
Yes.
Ye wie no I call case management a court no any a lawyer for the parties edwin kwan a case ni e be fast wedi no. Court no ka say wa o pesa wo fra dance for bia na mani hu dance for o pesa wo frɛ na by 22nd January 2021 wa dance for no mo fa mu nyina dance krata emra court obi ni wa odi tu okosi easy foti ana Jimensa foti eno so Jimensa say dance krata no me na me de beba
yes
jo no dia dance krata ye friend witness statement abre court no in line with the court order. So me Jimensa me ye easy ba no dani no. Me na me di adanse ama easy. Na me di a support ye ya no disem na ye di abeto court na nim sampo mampinye kufuado na we ni aba. And also ye witness statement we no. What the crata for fry a friend no. statement of truth aka ho. A statement of truth ni kire say sa witness statement in same way wo mu nyina no wo udi nsese de wo mu nyina no kre. Enti parties ni nyina case management nim say Jimensa clearly by at least even if not by signing the petition and filing which was supported with affidavit of verification. Yenim say at least witness statement here or dia beidie. Eye den a waje to me say obi dia dance ama Ghana fo nyina hu say and the court na hu so mampenye ko for na rene. Say me kaba. No, because unia dance ya near the witness statement by then.
How can say order of the court? In the base
no,
of
the order of the court and they say wa dance ni bi obedia dance ya wa asem we bia no. Kuchire wa dance ni good krata so na fabre court no.
Yes.
By 21st January.
Yes.
And he say enyan show umbezo obedia dance yin so the krata bia beko.
Yes.
Be say what ya se kuchire wa dance good krata so the court dia. Let us say the work check court and say mre no so a meba. Enya sa dia ne obi for so say kuchire wadansi gu krata so yede mekaba de nyanto wase eno na nche no ya start ansa kra na ye ba be di asem na nkasa no Asempa FM interlocutory applications bebre ye che se ansa na ye be di asem na sem bebre wo a ye de koto court na nima court no edi ye na sa asem ne mu ba ko pa e de be create controversy wo Ghana ha was the application by the petitioner for leave to serve interrogatories on the first respondent. She say John Mahama ne na lawyer for the adesrede koto Supreme Court anim say mo maye ekwan na nsemfua be nsembisa be edumienu Mami Jimensa yemfa nkoma no no mfa no yie nye den emra na ye free say sa no yie no e be boa ma asem we yakanentem no kure wo mbe pie ama atentere ne aye adwuma. Yere ko ye no Jim easy for say omompene omoma Jimensa ana easy for emfa anu ye bia amre yen na de oswaye e ka say emma court no ma ye kwan ma omo answer sa questions no eye Jimensa to swai affidavit say mama kwan bia na questions ya omu bise se meme Jimensa me kotena daka ni mu during cross examination o meeting bisa me nti omba be bisa me hey e won hia dia we just going to delay the case.
Did she say that in
the witness the affidavit in support in opposition to your application for leave to serve interrogatories no o ka say enye necessary because
say obe responded
say obe yi sansem bisa na no because so no abetena daka ni mu ne yetoto na no a ye betime bisa na sansem no. Yes. Today lawyer Chachuchikata read it in open court.
Proceed. Then
court unitie no. Among other reasons.
Yes.
Court ne say yem prema mo emisa no sa questions. And yes we there. Ye jitu mu enye ye ne court no nya adwen. Nti nidiem. Ye be pi so nya ko review. Say court no e be ya nidiem mo nwi hu biem no mo nsa kira o madwen. Ti ye court review no. Ajaje fo no kwa ye di mienu ka ho mo ye nkono. And also easy for by almost say hey questions no. Yaka say nyia no ne nyia no ne nyia no chena. Na se mo pese mo bisa questions we are. Jimensa betra da kanima mo bitime bisa. Sa affidavit adanse no mo de kokko de odi ye no. And so Jimensa ne sa na chase. On say who apply for review you must establish there has been a fundamental error of law which has occasioned you a miscarriage of justice, which has occasioned a miscarriage of justice.
And Jimensa fresh evidence be
yes.
Material evidence.
And in this case, we're not talking about fresh evidence, we're talking about fundamental error. Now then Jimensa came and says, hey, your lordships. And this is for John Mahama and a lawyer for some mooking. So they say decision no if it was in error you have not it has not occasioned any injustice. Omo so far intention bia because questions na mo amma ho kwan am ma misa me no se me kwa adaka ni mo bitimi abisa me into what injury has been occasioned, what injustice has been occasioned by your refusal. Timumongo second time another affidavit I no we swine evidence and a court ni tie no among other reasons say Jimensa ye manimisa me kaise sada no judges na baako Justice Herita Mensa Bunsu Professor ebisa lawyer Chachuchi Kata say nansem bi say 12 year opese maami ya no chinchina sisi ya when you abri eti maami no betena daka mu no cross examination wuntimi misa na na
yes
because yenti maami judge ne ka say because that easy for na argument say Jimensa ankasa no mu ase meba daka ni mu enti mu pesa enyia no na mu benya free me ho.
Yes.
Tidenti na mo ha court na chenchena mi nya no ne.
But say na binding on.
Oh, masa wa ono na no mu asem Bible say trokonkron aka wo no mu asem ene ye de bebu afo. By your words you shall be justified. Masa meba
how our case na ekono. Me who say I don't need to be in the
now free say obetimi akọ court. Na affidavit no we swai on oath. Say hold on, we will get those answers from you during cross examination. You said it under oath. And no witness statement I would yaba courts. And this affidavits now what yaba nyina say sans mbisa ye pese ye bisa ono obetena daka ni mu a ye betime bisa ono. Na wo ma and John Mahama ne na lawyer for a petitioner. And the court no ni wiase nyina hu say Mimi Jimensa beba betena daka ni.
And this
yes, it is say na Mimi hunu na meka no. Open say meka no say nia akoto ampa hunu na Philip Osebunzu hunu. Say na ye hunu no. I'm explaining to you our opinion as canvassed by our lead counsel in court today. Our position. Now, that therefore means say any one kasa one ma court no any parties ni nyina hu so ba be dia dance here. Court no de ne ho ato sa asem no so e dia taking certain decisions against the petitioner. So interrogatories will not allow you because you can solicit those answers during cross examination.
But that was not the only reason the court gave.
No, but it was part.
In fact, it was not even in the ratio.
It was part, Maza.
In the ratio of
it's
the
not
court.
even about ratio. It was part of the things the court took into consideration.
Judge Eka passing comment.
Me say
it was not in the decision of the court.
It is in their affidavit in opposition, and I'm saying say a part.
Part of the
a part of
the court's decision.
Or because the court take decision based on evidence about money munina. So they considered everything. The fact that they did not rise because of the solicited for answers to these questions during cross examination. We are
it was not part. What
no, they have not
on record. No reason for the decision.
Master, every record. Fact. Every record in a particular application is taken into consideration by the court. In fact, sometimes before them, they take judicial notice of it. So, they inform the decision they make. That's the point I'm making. So, your point is say, Ubia and Fet to and so. One I will say, Ubabi dia dance to dia dance krataba.
Yes.
One I will try several affidavits say, and my court and my quaima. And John Mahama lawyer for and to one no misao in say Mr. Dumienu because okra no bad daka nimu a yebetimi bisa. Ya de ye ho ato sa ansem ni nyina so. John Mahama friend na dance for miensa. Siedu Ketia be dia dance here. Dr. Kwesa White be dia dance here. Rojo Metinunu be dia dance here. Adenti no mu be dia dance here betena daka nimu. Dia dance here we ma yetoto o ma no bisa o mo questions. No mu yi ano. Because utimu fita tiamwanku omutimu fita ntino omo buy they knew said na no create through do na no mo ka wo madanse mu they knew said the law was on their side.
Okay,
they knew so mo ya nokwafo they knew said they had a case to make
in your mama kind of cray
me patcho
omo make you omo case
me make am asamba
why are you worried
obi me ba omo wie edru so na bra wo dia shame wachi mfuturo on Asempa FM Jimensa said they will dwane.
Oh, dwane akohen.
Running away no na me kwa me hu ni court kra na ma me fere man. O dwane akohen.
Same.
O dwane akohen sen masa yet Ghana had 2012 election petition. Could Supreme Court. Regardless of how frivolous the case was. Pink sheet be serial number aba mienu police station code be aba mienu asemwa ento sumu kra court no bogu ye 90
na ento
asumu presiding member and sign pink sheet nti muntwa ema e wo pink sheet ni nyina
in the 90 frivolous
mesa meba
ana
till I make my issues, so now my mouth the voting on that. Obi. Afarijan can say we are same way the BBA him to member. Afarijan who say or your public officer or your mind so for or some Ghana for and nothing you tuaneka. Into a wasu die say why ye Juma as EC chairperson and returning officer. Na chinye jia na amanso na asem ba na Juma ne ho a or de obuo ni die ma Ghana for. Ene court no. Na ono so be ka di onim. No di adanse ba na boa ma court no ne Ghana for ni wiase nyina hu asem ni mu nokre. Enam se na Afarijan nye boni bia. Na wonwi abam. Na waye na Juma comment no. Wenwane. Aye se wonye kronfo. Akokejiti aye pai kronfo na wo di ahye na just one kasa no unim say we are we
Same be mindful of the choice of words but my point in say
no that I mean everything I'm saying. Yeah,
Afarijan in 2012 had a lawyer in Kwasi Aidan, EC lawyer na Kwasi Aidan, based on the case petitioners no the lawyer felt the witness should be in the box.
Not necessarily. Did they tell you that?
Let me finish. In this case, can say the circumstance now, there's a more real case. You've closed your case. The lawyer for the EC believes, say, on the strength of Umu case are more close, he thinks he doesn't need, because the witness is supposed to come and help on the case. Also in here, so we putting the witness in the box. Why should you have a problem?
Ghanaians and not just some agency or the petitioner should have a problem with that. You know why? Because public officer you tua ne car ye adwuma hye ne sama ne ye adwuma no asem na kwa kopie court.
Yes,
ono wankasa besi ne ensem wo ka kire Ghana fo kra no wasesa na no wo court ka kire Ghana fo nyina say ye to aba ne wie ye no the total valid rules my papa buy dodo no 30,434,574 ade chenye obesesa na no say 30,119,460 okọ court no ye chio wakoka asem foforo enti Ghana for bebre they may not hold on.
You've been able to prove.
Let me finish.
If you've proved,
let me finish one question. Let me finish one question, then we go to the other. So there are some who are not even interested in the case of the petitioner. They want to know the truth. And you, as a public officer, you have the constitutional duty. Constitution, your returning officer, ultimately declare results. Not even the court can declare results of presidential elections.
Yes.
Gazette no wonsa shase declaration wonum asem na bra bebu adwuma ho akonta udwane ade obu Ghana for obi this is not supposed to be an argument. I'm building a certain point.
A committee,
I'm building a point.
Public account committee.
No, I'm building a point. I will deal with that issue now. So number one, you are running away from a credibility test. You are running away from accountability. And the reason why Jim Mensa a journey from cross examination, and yes, sir, and this intimi making case we are not the one that damn clock the John. Hold on, I will deal with that question. Okay, let me deal with that question. You're making case. Why? And let you check attack.
Yes.
And I salute him wherever he is, and I celebrate him, and I honor that man, that institution. Or an inspiration to young people like myself. They be on my who the differences between lawyers. We are learning a lot from him. We thank God for his life, and we pray for many more years for him, so that he can mentor young ones like myself. It's such a privilege to have met this man, this Colossus. But I say no problem. What do you say? Court in say. EC lawyer, who kwan so because on free mensa so baby dia dance here. No problem. Monkasa. Na monkasa na dance krata na o de bae no. Mo withdraw ana mu nya mfa mo ho to so biem.
Yes.
Omo sa option no. Munya kasa pe. Ye be yusum, ye be gina mra so.
Yes.
E dia sre court no say. On she Jimensa no metna daka nim. This time around as an adverse witness of the petitioner.
Yes.
Ti be supina no.
Yes.
Enti
but that subpoena is not automatic. The court would have to agree.
Yes, so he said that.
So what's the point?
Yes, so she will be subpoenaed. But the point I'm trying to make is say nobody has said say court not granted the easy for they can ebe affect the NDC case. We have so many other options because unim Jimensa opewompo adaka no betinam.
How?
We are as our cry. Yes, you go school. Anopa na all ball as last one person be dware okona. Wo ye dey be twa kwesi adware wa tunsu obu.
But how would you do that? This is a court of law.
Kaba as obi o me na man ko bon nya dey. Mami flow na man for nte dey make na say. The point I am making is say wa wonu mu asem o. So we are law students. Contract law we not even just contract law, constitutional law and so many other areas of law. Estupel by conduct. Oh, you know estupel. There are different types of estupels. Unim say wo usu ne obaya na woni ye bi ema emrem obi nya hotoso se ade we na wo pese wo ye. Na wo de ne hoto sa ade no so a. Onkoda untimi nkoda ndwen ho meka se de masesa ma no. Wo wa makot na hu se meba be adaka ma bedi adanse wo kwesen bi atwen samre ne so no wa bebisa me. Samre ne so ye court no ne wa ya adwen. Wa ma wanyi sa questions na no at that time. Emre ne so ye na bra wo se wo masesa ma adwen me mabiem. You are stopped from doing that because you have already elected in your witness statement and in the several affidavits you have before the court. Our court na gina sa affidavits ne so take a decision against a party. To now come and say, I've changed my mind when you have not even explained to the court the basis. Would the assessor waging?
The basis is our court orders in the
say a man
the rules.
So why are you invoking that?
Why should
we will talk about the rules because the rules look more and lawyer Chachuchi Kata dealt with that. But Obi, let me make this other point. Apart from no say Jimenez yeah, mad can because petitioners need to mean discharge the burden of proof.
Yes.
FM.
Why I didn't know lawyer could turn power money as MPP lawyers for or more data Ghana for sir. They are deceiving their supporters.
Ekosiisen.
Asem we are omo ankasa babeje John Mahama asem tum in the Supreme Court. They have more or less endorsed the case of the petitioner and they release the petitioner is seeking. Momo say same way there is no case for you to answer.
So you don't need the woman
to hold on. Maybe I am trying to tell you that they are making up excuses. So let me expose them first that they are making up excuses. And let me tell you why Jimensa is running from the you can say witness box. The edikai your case I had the court on and say. Yes say who declare bano on 9th December no. Okay say. My papa na yetu ne dodo 13 million. 434,574. And I can't so Mampenya Kufuado. Enya 6,730,413. What's the say, no? Mampenya Kufuado nya 51.59%. Yekoye the same konta sana wobwa. Uwiem edibiaka Mampenya Kufuado. Because 6,730,413 divided by 13,434,574 times 100 is 50.098 and 51.595. Inti antro nuemu number 1.
Ekosiisen.
Ye no.
Sempa FM.
Ye ko hwe total valid votes na we use no kra na. What because 13,434,574 ba ko keka ma wo dia ma candidates na bomu a ukonya another figure. Eno na nche ne ye ko keka percentages a wo dia ma 12 candidates ni nyina bomu a Omampenya Kufuado akua donko John Mahama bomu a yenya 100.3%. Ade an quantum no into me see mathematical impossibility. We ye no Omampenya Kufuado abegina 50.098 na we ye because now when you out of 275 constituencies in Ghana no samre na wo kita results for 274 excluding Techiman South constituency results. And you declare no now one kwan say ka wo betwen ma Techiman South na ba ansakra na wakoye declaration.
Sami, we've gone over this
time
and time
I am
again.
telling you I want to demonstrate.
Were you able to prove this in court?
Yes, I'm showing you how it has been proven. How they have admitted our case. That's what I'm showing you. They have admitted said the Joma American in no cre. And by extension they have admitted say in the list relief 2 should be granted. That's the point I'm making.
Really?
Yes.
How and when?
And I
Where and how did they admit?
So let me make my case. And now, panel member,
Sammy, answer my questions, Lepacho.
The point I'm making, say, we demonstrate to you, say, you could have waited for Techiman South. Also, one train, yet the Techiman South, men you now cry, Madia, what also me, still, Omanpenyo Kufuado be more than 50% of the total valid votes. Techima Madodo send 128,018 votes. Yeah, yes, I'm content the Kajo Mama. No man Penya Kufuado about 49.625. Nature said Ghana Yamra Kunini Article 63.3 of the 1992 Constitution say Obi a bit in Yakasa wa ye or man Penya. I just say when ya and my papa ni mudu more than 50%. Oman Penya Kufuado wenya so warene to declaration and your papa a invalid
calculation more the total registered voters nina.
Yes, because and on a declaration or say at this moment we have 274 we don't have Techiman South because there are disputes and all that. But even if we were to give that to the second respondent, all that
will come from Techiman.
The outcome will not change. Oman Penya Kufuado will still cross 50%. Hence, I hereby declare, declare to Omanpenyo Kufuado na win. So the declaration was based on Asemo Okanye about the Techiman South. Without that analogy, she could not have declared the election. Because Ghana ya to aba one constituency results on my entire train election for time. There are so many examples.
Let's know how you proved that in court.
Yes.
Some same way.
Some of you, the problem you're having is that this case. The witnesses did not give viva voce evidence. The evidence was by witness statement. And General Mosquito I said one me can I wanna dance a catcher animu. Apart from say what petition now, your mama de coil. I was saying get yasemu. Ya man acquire mananfa na one can because a marana sesa. So then I no can ya can say send the musical sa no beka no kra no DBI day. Aka ho. Into wakana wa crack so. Easy out of court, any in court, imagine nyina tu.
How?
Omajia to mu say number 1 say we use to declaration na jimensa ye na Omanpenyo Kufuado 50%. Omajia to mu say number 1 okay ka percentages ni bo more than 100%. And the reason is that Omanpenyo Kufuado 51.595. Now the real percentage should be 51.295.
Yes.
Mebwa. Omajia to mu so my fonso. Meanwhile, we true calculation, based on more total valid votes, and was say 50.098. But you need to say, Omanpenyo Kufuado percentage in the declaration is wrong. Oma sans what to me say, per the analogy in the declaration relative to Techiman South. So the same money in our kajo mahama hoa. Omanpenyo Kufuado better more than 50% of the total valid votes. And you're not correct. And Omababeka so the entire Omanpenyo Kufuado ntra na say total valid votes na jimensa kan no otinye na total vote cast. Enti ma many declaration o ye ni nyina no isi na nkasa se enya papa
otin no ma correct
oh there be enya ma correction no so declaration no wasam no wati isi fo agya tuma na omunyintu. They consider that even before they went to court, and in court they have confirmed. Say yeti declaration na ye na enya papa.
Sempa FM.
Akoto ampa so akasa ampa wati enya papa echinyagye bia ni hu biem. But yamra no article 63.9 say we declaration ni wia e was say wo de won sa na wo wie e was say wo de won sa hyase na wo ma ne be yamra eno ne ye fe no declaration of president elect instrument. This year last year ma mi wie declaration no o de nsa hyase ama na be yamra declaration of president elect instrument 2020 CI 135 na article 63.9 say samra no eno na wo pe bibi edi adanse se obi Omanpenyi no na wo se wokowe nti enumu ene yesi Omanpenyi Kufuado Ghana Manpenyi wa win 2020 presidential election owie ye no mra ne se sanso bode wuro kire wiase nyina se Omanpenyi ni ti ko gazette ti gazette no which is the publication no ye dawubu a wo ka kire Ghana for ni wiase nyina se 2020 about win ye Manpenyi nti emra no ye in the enactment which is CI 135 the gazette were all based on the 9th December declaration. The very declaration ajimensa ankasa se enye papa no. Eno no wa ye ne mra. Eno no wa gazette wa publish. It is a one kasa was a declaration no. Enye papa. Na say yes declaration we ya na wa enact into law CI 135. Na wa gazette dia. Na John Mahama kokko to say declaration ya one kasa was enye papa. Ene mra wagina sa declaration na enye papa ne so aye CI 135. Ene gazette na wagina sa mra bonne ne so aye no ye montu a sa woni ne ya adwen. Because you agree that declaration is fraught with errors, riddled with errors. Then, so you have agreed with the case of the petitioner.
You are speculating.
You are not speculating.
One awoka say
that is not
a mistake about. Not just on money John Mahama ya again for release.
That's not what I'm saying. No. Where your logical inference say why a declaration?
Yes.
I'm running say ya to abewia beye all the about 20 sunsun so betudwa
Asempa FM.
na wo ye wia fansa sha asema ne meyemra wo do sa sha ase we ne beyemra publishing in the gazette na bode wuru chiri wia say say this is the results. Why a declaration wo do sa sha ase ama na yemra we wa publish it we ye no say declaration na wo ye enye papa figures say wo mu nyina ye wrong.
Now how do you know say figures no the year or the gazette no?
Because the gazette notification, which is before the courts, the last paragraph says,
yes.
I want to say the gazette notification say, I hereby certify that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the candidate of the New Patriotic Party in the 2020 presidential election, haven't attained more than 50% of the total valid votes, is hereby declared as the president-elect. The last paragraph says, listen to me, given under my hand this 9th day of December 2020. Into our catch, I will say, declaration now then in Sasha say 9th December no and no why mra. So this December 9th declaration also no and on wa ba be ka no mu asem say ni nyina mati okay ka percentage ni bomu a e boro 100
and 100.3 this statement about to correct
there be me ba
and the correction you say
you're correcting no we declare
and we declare say I don't understand
so
that
you see until I say you don't understand our case.
And about
then, hold on, so I'm explaining it to you. That's why I'm in the studio and you are interviewing me. As we speak, there is only one declaration.
Yes.
That is the declaration the EC itself says is faulty. And that is the declaration we are asking the court to set aside. Faulty declaration, you know, the EC has not revised it or revoked it. They have not made another declaration based on any new figures. A declaration that now must say enye papa and don't understand it as a declaration. The enactment is more serious because the enactment is the prima facie evidence of the election of somebody. Enactment and say or you elected. And I had dance here enactment and based on another declaration. Onye gazette be afofro. So assuming without admitting, I will deal with the issue of correction because they have not done any correction. And Trono Mudichre Obimo and Trono Mudichre Ghana for some omunya correction.
Musa 2 questions now.
No, my mefa hanisi kakre just say. Omunya correction there. But assuming without admitting post or my correction papa in accordance with the law.
Yes.
Assuming without admitting.
Yes.
Just say yemfan kasem keke. Yes, I no krube yemfan kasem keke mpoa. Has that correction been declared? Has it been enacted? Has it been gazetted? No. So if the wrong declaration, enactment, and the gazetted results has not been changed, then wouldn't me say yes, no. Now why there was a correct figures, no? For a true and proper declaration that is in the minimum. Now for a proper enactment in the minimum. Now for a proper publication in the Gazette.
And what that means, that still, no, some way correction, and Anado still wins.
So you will have to do it based on figures, correct figures, not figures which have been discredited in court.
And which correct figures you know about? Which
correct figures will have to be ascertained in accordance with the orders of the court. Because the court knows the figures be nya enya adwuma. Untimi nko back now nko use those discredited figures for another declaration. The court may order an audit, or the court may ask you to go and together with the agents of the various political parties ascertain the true figures, and on the basis of the true figures make a true and proper declaration.
Why is
another enactment
in
and order.
Reliefs no more seeky audit.
But when
you say there should be a runoff based on which figures?
I will explain that too.
But I mean, some question too now. Me kind of
what is that one? Me differ. Who's also the two ba? Obi,
date be na NDC file election petition.
I think it was late December, 28th or something.
In the on record, no?
I stand to be correct about it.
On record,
very late
no?
December.
That was when the election petition was filed.
Yes.
When was the election petition amended?
It should be early January.
Early January. In TCC, there is an amended petition.
Yes.
Does it change when the election petition was filed?
No, it doesn't change.
It doesn't change when the election petition was filed.
But the amended election petition is now the petition before the court.
Yes.
Yes.
But it doesn't
so
change.
the court cannot make reference to the earlier petition.
But it doesn't change when this election petition was filed. It was still filed.
Yes.
Pursuant to our 21 days window now.
Yes.
Yeah, them are political parties.
Yes.
Good. And the EC made a declaration on the 9th. And there was a correction of that declaration on the 10th. And you claim, sir, that correction doesn't change the 9th declaration.
It doesn't change it. And let me explain that to you.
It doesn't change the numbers in the 9th declaration.
First of all, Mamindi can establish that there has not been any correction.
How?
Because one mremuno, dear, or say presidential election in so about to
yes.
Or the tuja, the returning officer. Nipa foforo bi eni wo betumi aye. The returning officer. The returning officer in this case is Jim Mensah.
Yes.
Ono na be the declaration of 9th December. And this system be ba I was say free on nche na ba.
Na say free electoral commission on the buy.
Jim Mensah is the electoral commission is not the returning officer. The returning officer is not the electoral commission. The constitution says the returning officer is the chairperson of the electoral commission. The two are separate and distinct, different. And unti se me chairperson of the electoral commission me the figure ba na me se me ti me the foforo ba me na wo se me de ba. Another entity any the returning officer cannot bring that. And as we speak, Jim Mensah herself as returning officer, before she went to court, no far in the statement Biama say these are the new figures. The Momo can one sem no. A statement EC4 publishing on my website. Say where can be war the name EC4 baby no this idea no kotowa. Nobody even know where that thing emanated from. It is not signed by Jim Mensah and it is not signed by anybody. In corporate affairs, who publishes a press release without signature? But put that aside. What is in that statement in Impuno? Even worse. Because in that statement, last paragraph, and I don't have to read it, but we've reviewed it here, you can make reference to it. I say, so correction, we are only correcting total valid votes. Jim Mensah Kano on the 9th, the day before, in her declaration. 30,434,574. And no making reference to it, no another figure. Almost 30,433,573.
Yes.
So even the reference was wrong. But the key point here is that they said they were correcting only the total valid votes, which through Jim Mensah's inadvertence, she quoted the total vote cast and not the total valid votes. And that's how into almost figure na Jim Mensah can on 9th declaration no say total valid votes utinye na total vote cast into no kwan de ba besesa no. But then you go to the release or ma publish candidate bi and the results. Now what the total the Jim Mensah declare on the 9th no ho a different enti total valid votes nkwa no masesa no. John Mahama 10th statement na obi ansign no. Almost so 1,707
FM.
Relative to the na omedi can declare the 9th no de toto ho a omate so omampanya kufu adom ma ye de bia ka ho enti na etro mudi kan di ye ne say oh total valid votes penny yesesa no emma candidates ni nyan de yemfa yensan kan so no moboa because in the statement when we check the figures they had massaged the figures and on nanchen no wo de yemfa total new total valid votes no mo de aba no 13,119,460, which was in that statement. So that is the correction you are talking about. And a correction for Froben now can was. But when they are your quote, where is that correction? Where is it?
They have agreed with your
no, when you ask Sami Jenfi a question, say, you're mistaking the declaration which they have corrected. What correction are you talking about? I'm also asking you.
Sami, they have agreed with your total valid vote cast calculation. So relative to total valid vote cast,
that was not our total valid vote calculation. You have read the petition.
No, this is how much it should.
But that doesn't mean that is the total valid votes. It could as well mean say votes now one of the 12 candidates or some of them you're wrong. If you do 1 + 1 + 2, now we'll say a 5. 1 + 1 + 2, now say a 5 instead of 4. You cannot assume say 5 and wrong in the 4. And no, one of the justices of the Supreme Court, it will only be an assumption. It can be said as 5 is correct, but a 1 + 1 + 2, another equal 2 was supposed to be 3. But in writing it, the person got it wrong. So you cannot therefore assume say the correct aggregate total no, and no mum the total valid votes. No, you are just assuming. The point I can say. Onye correction bia because onyanko court no dey say talk is cheap. Why press release one sample or say correct figure na 30,119,460. Okodu court na ye bisa na say figure na we dwane afri sa correction no we dwane afri ho. And the media is not exposing the duplicity or the dishonesty of Jean Mensa, and you are still saying that she has corrected it. Corrected what? The correction she has abandoned. In court, she's run away from the correction.
From everything you've said and confidence, I would account seminal. You are very.
Let me finish this issue of no. Obi, you are jumping.
I'm not jumping.
Anytime I'm making a point,
I am not jumping. The American said.
Okay, you ask your question.
You are sure you've been able to prove this to the court?
I'm not done. We must.
So why should
you make the issue of correction? I am establishing to you that there is no correction. Let me finish that. Then I will come to why. Then are you worried? What's the point I mentioned? So I'm saying that your friend of correction, which is the unsigned press statement of 10th December, which they published on their website, which didn't come from the returning officer, assuming without admitting that it even came from her, she lied in that because of say Mrs. total valid votes. John Mahama votes. What is so? Or the Bia come and penyo kufuado. Cooking no figures na jeno mosquito. Edi wa dance no. Ebi no. Owie no. Or the new figure ba. Ekosiisen or the figure for front now we dwane free the correction no. Is that still a correction? It is no longer a correction because it has been abandoned. So if you even want to talk about any correction at all, it is the figure she has introduced in court. Which figure, per the evidence before the court, and so you have different versions. So it's all do court no. Or say it's a figure near 30,121,111. In the first two figures without any reason, no plausible explanation of how our second figure is correct, but we should take the figure, third figure not the court no. On chiri or no oye nyame your pen or ye or debating the figure about changing at any time. Like so about time is a bucket to a pampers. We also be explanation. That is what we are being told. Then you go to their website. Oh dear, first make a 275. Maybe another does want to be. Go and take the 16 regional summary sheets and add. See the figure you get. And take the 275 constituency summary sheets and add. You will get different figures. Who are the regional 16 regional totals? Now figure will be different from the Jimensa kind of court. Who Jimensa we in the National Coalition Center as returning officer and say results from 16 regions now okay kaboom. Only 16 regions. The also okay kaboom muno. Court, which is a third figure. First one no say wrong. Second one no say wrong. Third figure no. You can 13 summary sheets now. One guy's out there website na bumwa. The figure we get is different. Yes, okay. Yanko constituency. We go and do the constituency too. It is different. 5 set of figures. Ade. Election by near in any democracy. The returning officer of the election can keep changing the figures. So as we speak now, what is the correction? There is no correction. And I'm saying that, assuming without admitting that there is even a correction, that correction, until it is effected in accordance with law, is not a correction.
And the accordance with law will
until the declaration is amended.
Amend the declaration.
Amend the declaration or do another declaration. It's just a press conference.
Into the point.
Do another declaration based on correct figures. And based on that new declaration, you can amend your CI or do another CI by revoking the earlier one. Or without that, whatever their lawyers will advise them, that is what you must do. And then that becomes the new thing. That is why NDCIA we amended it. So now if you are making reference to the petition, you make reference to the amended petition.
Yes.
You don't go back to the old one.
Yes.
Have you amended your declaration?
But the point, the amount we know a different. In the declaration, in the gazette, you don't state figures. In this or the correct figures, declaration now, or the gazette now. How would you know?
But you state the dates.
Yes.
So this amendment would have been said, given under my hand the 9th day of December and amended on the 10th day of December. That should be the correcting.
In your estimation?
It is common sense. Because if the one you did on the 9th is wrong and you amending it there, then it was said that way amendment, I will reference it. You cannot reference the old one, which you yourself say it is wrong. And until we have any new correction based on correct figures, a new declaration based on correct figures, it is commonsensically you can deduce that the respondents have agreed that so long as the declaration is concerned, it is wrong, it is faulty. The court cannot uphold what is per their own admission faulty.
But the other
and
point,
the enactment based on that and gazette based on that actually 40. This is common sense. It's glaring.
Into the other point, and because
but then let me go to your question now. So if this is your case, then add into the when you have yes.
Because they are working about declaration. Because one of your reliefs, and apart from court, annually, Declaration of President Act, CI 135. Ekamuri lives now. But also say the court should order for a rerun between the two leading candidates, Nanado and John Mahama, based on figures.
You can interchange.
Then
you can interchange reliefs. If the court say, for example, that the declaration is correct, I will uphold it, and they do the interpretation of that declaration, they do the correct calculation, like we have done. They will come to the conclusions about when there was a runoff.
How?
Because Omanpenyi Akufo-Addo, Omomande 6,730,413. In the declaration, the total valid votes is 30,434,574,
which has been corrected.
If you divide this figure and multiply it by 100, you get 50.098. If you add Techiman South, that's 274 constituencies. Techiman South is outstanding. And the declaration says add Techiman South to John Mahama, and Stella Akufo-Addo will cross 50%. Now you add Techiman South 128,018.
But how would you possibly do that?
Why won't you do that? Because that is a declaration. Why? And how will you possibly do another thing? We are challenging a declaration. Why do you want to go and impose something which is not in the declaration? That would be absurd. In fact, it will be absurd, unimaginable for you to say, we are challenging whether a certain document, a certain declaration, a certain act is correct or not. Then you are going to bring something which is not in that thing.
Yes.
How will you do that?
No, but
so you go by the declaration. But this is the point I want to make. I've explained to you how compelling and strong our case is, and why it is a lie. Say, a good case, that is why they don't want to give. That is why they don't want Jim Mensah to enter the witness box. I am now.
How did you establish it in court?
Check the record of proceedings. Through the witness statements. They have not controverted one. Good. But this is the point I'm making, Obi. The real reasons why, and I want you to record this, Jim Mensah is running away from accountability and cross-examination. I'll give you 5 reasons. Number 1, Jim Mensah himself said, "Oba daka nimua." Ne money calculator te said, "Yema general mosquito calculator na." Na nimbe guase because ye kase figures e won no ani declaration ni mu no. Onya sa nkuntabuo na obeye wie no ontumi justify da So Mampenya Kufuor more than 50%. She knows she will be the unconstitutionality of her declaration that the Kufuor one will be exposed. Usro on to be mesa calculation and until number 1. Number 2, Jim Mensa himself and try what dear chance and trough one Ghana for. Say, or young Fonso in the declaration, our correcting no. Or bet nada kanimua. Nada pabe de dia magana for muso nye correction bia. Because correction our year no 10th December one sign. Ah Ghana for bebre e dia to mutim say that is the correct figure no. Or court no we dwane free ho. And she will not be able to give any reasonable explanation the entire wakakofa another figure and not that correction. Apart from that new figure no so no yakofa on 116 regional coalition sisa and support to that figure no ebegu nanimu ase yakofa 275 summary sisa and support to that figure no ebegu nanimu ase into onim say unto me and justify the ever changing figures nintinu odwane running away nobody turn do. The third thing they said Jimensa will show so be prison. Because the case before the Supreme Court, any issues be up, and I'll choose my words carefully, involves a potential case. Okay, you let me not even go there. But if I can rephrase it, reformulate it, Jimensa knows, so Kotana Dakanimua, ye be bisan and sem. Efa form will be a friend of Form 13. Our no Jimensa or the attache na dance secretary or the court no as exhibit 4. As our Form 13 year form was say we national coalition in a way no or treasury candidates in the figures go so ma agents inside. So that is more or less the national presidential result summary sheet, which is the Form 13. Sa form na Jimensa the aba court no. Okay, say Dr. Pesa White adansi mu. Okay, say sa form no. What they compare the what emremu CI 127 Jimensa ankasa sa shase Public Election Regulation 2020 page 63 form na wo na the Jimensa the aba no boebra.
E den na man no boebra
Because form na wo na clear. The regional totals must be indicated on Form 13. The law itself has designed for you Form 13. Na Jimensa nimse the original totals no and support to figures now what they call court ninti no wakwa fa form foforo na cross examination ye be hu says how form no
Ekosiisen
be so no fa so nyaa
Asempa FM.
na say involve possible crimes ni nyina be ba bonten
in the no my
because in the box no
my establish in this court proceeding say form as in Mensa attach it to the witness statement.
Yes.
No. And yeah, no, Form 13.
The only evidence on record about the authenticity of Form 13 is the evidence by Dr. Pesa White. When he was giving Form 13 by her
Justice
leadership, Justice Tokono. And she said, this is not what, that is the only evidence on record. And I'm telling you that if you pick CI 127, this is an open and shut case.
Yes.
The form template is there. That is not what is before
and
the
also
court.
the form template was CI 127.
That is not what Jimensa has brought.
Different from
yes, I don't want to say certain things.
With the choice of words in Yabotre. Please, Tobo. The American is say.
Let me
finish.
That's what we mean.
Pesa White say, according to Onono, Form 13, and yeah, no the Justice Tokono and the chair.
Not just according to him, or say according to the Public Election Regulations 2020 CI 127. Page 63.
Yes.
This is not Form 13.
But in court,
so Form 13,
in court, based on the evidence of mine in court, one can say, okay, so maybe CI 127 how we were in this form.
No. Let me remind you.
Evidence, man,
maybe you have forgotten. What he said was that when you go into CI 127, you made reference to the law.
Yes.
It is not there.
No.
It is not the same. It is a different form.
So that's in CI 127, what is in CI 127? A man here different from form at Tokono.
The form in terms of its form, its shape, its scope, its content, materially different because in CI 127, the Form 13 has columns for results for all 16 regions. The arguments at the Akwakoma Supreme Court, there are no columns for 16 regional results. There is nothing like that. And there are other differences. I don't have to, as Empire FM is all this, I don't have to give you all the details. But I'm trying to tell you, that is the evidence before the court. And Dr. Pesa White said that before he was cross-examined by lawyer Kutu Ampao. Who te say lawyer Kutu Ampao counter sa evidence no. What he put it to you say the Form 13 is authentic. What he be? Apart from that, Roger Metununu about be give you evidence say the Form 13 Jimensa use okay fraudulent. It is not as prescribed in the law.
Me Form 13 maybe from CI 127.
Yes.
And the CI 127 Form 13 Declaration of Presidential Results form. There was a name of region into Betro region.
Yeah.
And the one in China names or party initials of candidates.
Yeah, Obi. Just the first one I'm trying to tell you is Exhibit 4 get Jimensa's witness statement.
Say name of region in
it is not there.
Name of region.
Me say no regional results are there. You state the region.
Any regional result. It doesn't say regional result. It says name of region. That is not regional result.
How many columns are there?
Tio. In the end, I make sure the name of region waha. Oba.
How many boxes are there?
Under where? Under name of region.
Yeah.
Just one box.
Go.
Just one box. Now about names or party initials of candidates.
Yes.
And also no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes near 9. And on us here, your total valid vote, your total rejected ballot, and a total vote cast. Now about chairman signature and a date. And on us here no answer now about name of representative or counting agent of candidate. Name of party.
What I'm telling you is that there is nothing like name of regions on Jimensa form. No, there's nothing.
But I know what I know. No. Name of region, and I say names of votes from regions. Vote from regions.
You know, listen. What kind of region now?
Yes.
Now the candidates in initials, but votes so the region, you must state it.
It is not here.
Bring it.
This is CI 127.
Bring it.
That's CI 127 Form 13.
So sorry. Yes, you lock on the money.
Okay, no problem. Okay. And this is page 62 of the Act.
Okay, hold
on.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Okay, yes. Declaration of Presidential Results.
Yes.
The name of region. Once rows.
Yes.
So you must write all the names of the regions.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
And then you indicate the name or the party initials of the candidate. Then you indicate the total valid votes.
Will be indicated.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Then the total region. And I'm trying to tell you, say, these names of regions are not there.
Are not there on the form.
Jimensa has brought. That form is not like this.
You are sure about this?
Yes, I am sure about it.
Okay, you give me this.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Bibia anyhow. And I mean, it's very unfortunate. Maybe in your break, I'll go into my car and bring the hard copy.
Okay.
Because it is not for nothing, and that the law requires that those details should be provided. So if you go and bring another form, different from Emra Wankasa Waya on Sasha, you baby sa questions. And I am telling you that Jimensa cannot answer questions about the authenticity of our form, or not the other court. When she swears on oath, who swear on oath another thing. But when you swear on oath, is another thing. Because on him say, oh, so unconstitutional declaration why because of Mampenye Kufuor more than 50%.
Okay.
Correction will claim say why but on your correction be na the figures done. The 16 regions figures okay kabomwa a different from constituency, a different from 3 different figures or the other, and untimi explaining why this figure must be taken and not this in the witness statement or any such justification or explanation. Now apart from the changing figures and so form okra was say did declare abano. Now, according to the lawyer during cross-examination, opposed to no at the venue of the declaration, on to me answer questions on that. On him said the nimbe guase. So unlike Afarijano Ojane, that is, in my view, the real reason this woman is running away from accountability. Because Jimensa knows that she is dishonest. Jimensa knows that she is not credible. Jimensa knows that she will be exposed.
The choice of words again.
Choice of words, man. But I take it's
an issue in court.
I take an exception.
It is not fair when the issue is in court.
Dishonesty has got nothing to do with the case in court. Even before we went to court.
How is it so?
There is but You don't know, but I know there is ample evidence of that, that shows that Jean Mensah is not credible. She is dishonest.
No, but we are talking now about the issue in court.
Yes.
And that issue in court, you cannot base on that the call will be
I mean, say, haven't you seen the changing figures? Okay, you are honest. You are honest. You are credible. Why are you running away?
Because he thinks it will not help his case in any way.
Why won't it help your case?
Hey, are there by force?
Do you decide how come and show us why you set of figures?
You don't decide how they conduct their case.
We don't decide how they. Yes. And yet during the stage of interrogatories, now you can say you be 12 questions in there. Okay, say you do cross examination.
If
when you if show me where they said if. Read it.
Anyone now say
if no one
can Oba join
that could
witness box anymore.
Now what can it can refer to when and it can refer to if. So do you know whether they use when or because any lawyer could tamper can use both or say when and if. It's go and read where she said
not adapt anymore. And no
that can be automatic. That can be when.
Okay, Makasa.
When I come into the witness box, you can solicit.
Makasa say me betina that anymore. Mo betime busa me say question no. And na case na yekoso no me hu say ade we be a case na kwa go me kwatina that anymore anhwa emwa me case nti memma. Why should that be a problem? And also what Shremu eloquently and confidently say, you've been able to prove all of these. When my witnesses are abba so far, then the court will decide in your favor, Sammy.
Exactly. So, but are you saying, sir, if and Obi, let me clarify this.
Okay.
If I'm saying that Jean Mensah is dishonest,
okay,
Jean Mensah is not credible. Because based on the Jean Mensah I know, the Jean Mensah
not
we
on
have
what
dealt
is in
with,
court.
I mean, the sum total of her conduct as a person.
Asempa FM.
And maybe deduction, they say, the reason why Intia Odi can say Obabe man dance here. No, I did witness statement by.
Ekosiisen.
Now I attach a statement of truth to that witness statement.
Yes.
Now, in several affidavits of hers before the court, why intimated to the court to say, my court no shall not say only questions be are not from the petitioner. Now cross examination mrena swan. You bet me business answer nina amana no. It was very clear, and that in summary is the argument, the crux of the argument that your lawyer, your lead counsel make it today say. No one elected to give evidence. So for me, this new decision we're taking in court is a U-turn.
Based on the strength of Momo case.
That is their argument. Our argument is that it is a U-turn, and that the court should not allow that U-turn. The court should be Thursday. So we are waiting for the decision of the court on Thursday. By a lawyer, can say, the court on the bar. The law is in their bosom. Now, their lordship say, "Ye ne petitioner and yardring. Jean Mensah is at liberty to say whether she will enter the box or not as witness for the first respondent. So if the first respondent wants to close their case, or if they don't desire to call him or call her as a witness,
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM."
Apply to the court to adopt the witness statement as her evidence in chief and subject her to cross examination. So be it. The court na can no nemra.
Okay.
Any de be
okay.
If we think say there are problems with it, and bit me give you cause we review
you
has ye we so that court ne ba say was so court na that can because she has a constitutional duty. Na the juma na o ye no important to the resolution of this matter. And so in the interest of justice, I was all then it will be good for us. Now all these questions about the credibility of a declaration, Wakwako answer. But the Akase, even if it goes against us, that is not the end of the road.
FM.
We think, say, for justice to be done in this case, Jean Mensah will have to give evidence on certain issues.
That's what more
yes. And so, say on one say on Madia.
Because that would mean the supporting the case.
No, it's not about supporting. Her credibility must be tested, and she must be held accountable for her conduct or her work as a returning officer.
Did you go to
that
court?
For us is non-negotiable because she's a public officer with a very, like, to borrow the words of with the grave responsibilities. What you say?
So the sole returning officer.
Sole returning officer. So for us, it is in the interest of justice, and we have made all these points. But one Tiasia, said, then let them say they are no longer relying on her witness statement, which
one
of the judges of the Supreme Court says, even Justice Mafosau today says it can be implied.
Yes.
So if that is the case, then lawyer Chachuchikata has more or less given some form of informal notice to the court. Then in that case, we may come to the court with an application, not supplement, but an application for leave. An application for leave. Say, court no mahukwai. Which is also allowed.
Argument for Froben and Mubesa.
How will I know how to what he will say in his argument when it gets to that stage? Just like today, he argued against what the respondents are seeking to do. He will argue for that application for leave to subpoena.
So my question way. Your system is adversarial.
So what that means is that whether that will be another opportunity. Potentially, no. Jimensa can come into the for the necessary.
Let me say your system is adversarial until you go to court with the expectations that Charlie make we so better way and me person me win. And you went to court with this petition to want to win. So the be a court never grant him relief, sir. Now mo person yen at least majority. Say more drew level more close mo case. Now mo ye bold. Say a dear way be me win this case, sir. Just say, sir, my lord, as you please decide on this case and let's move on. Why do you need Jimensa?
When it gets to that stage, I'm not sure Obi Beka said because let me not even preempt certain things because there has not been any suggestion by the petitioner in court say Jimensa Makota and Yintimin Kayasem. Nobody has said that.
But that's we are saying
we are saying that in the interest of justice, because of the position she occupies, any responsibility or any the issues are what's a court in a resolve.
If without her you still win, and
justice will be served if she comes. That's number one.
Will it not be justice if you win without her?
Hold on. Number two, so ya kase.
Yes.
Number two, so ya kase
on Asempa FM.
On one kasa pe na fi Davis before the court. Then send me a what catch the court ne dada no. In certain interlocutory matters.
Yeah.
In particular, the application for leave to serve
interrogatories. No.
No one can say the can until she's now stopped from changing her mind. And that if she wants to change her mind, she should come for leave appropriately and explain to the court on that basis. Because
but that is the explanation they did today.
No, I don't think they did.
That's
in
the
view of our lawyer Chachuchikata, they have not come that way. This one, they are just saying we will not call the person. That's it. So, we believe the court will take that into consideration and give a decision. Which we will work with, unless maybe we want to apply for review. But at the end of the day, if the court decide that way, today lawyer Chachuchikata gave a certain indication, say that doesn't mean that Jimensa will not come into the box because we will explore another option.
Okay.
Who knows? There may be even other options that we may want to explore. But even if eventually, after exploring all those options, the court in its wisdom refuses applications.
Okay.
I am not sure that Obi Beka say Jimensa Makot intino. That has dealt a fatal blow. Nobody will say that.
My main kind message is information I inside from your parliamentary correspondent because of COVID-19 the Speaker of Parliament has suspended Parliament for 3 weeks due to COVID-19. And Parliament has been suspended for 3 weeks because of COVID-19. I don't know what that will mean to Appointment Committee of Parliament Vetena Nyameya Domoa Otena if that will be affected. And maybe when we get here in parliamentary correspondent, we delve a bit more into this issue. But the breaking news now, and the Speaker of Parliament has suspended Parliament for 3 weeks due to COVID-19. Some messages nafi yenshe into me and twaso Ekosiisen suni ehaya Asempa 94.7 FM. Messages are Abano Edorso, but this is from Sami's good friend Sampine. Or say, what is Sami Jemfi saying? Courtroom talk is different from outside courtroom talk. He shouldn't continue to mislead his supporters. That's Sampine coming through with this one. There is one here which says,
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
please ask Sami the same question Justice Apple asked Asiedun Ketia. He's trying hard to avoid your questions. Don't let him have his way in the studio. Thank you, Eric Ewohacho. Herrick, dear, and no. Okay, Mamenko Parliament, Emrana Fi, Yentumi, and Twaso. Na share what's happening in that chamber. Abednego, Asante Asiedu, Ewahoma. Abednego, Akwabana, Apomu ya dear. Great. Nyame adomi ho ye papa inti news awodi amaye and it's a speaker I suspended parliament for 3 weeks. Okay. And the reason they say because of COVID-19.
Speaker of Parliament, right honorable Aban Babin, actually is more Sabre text na MPs in the year no. Additional to MPs 2 cases na Babe County MPs no. Omama tested positive 17. And a parliamentary staff they say 101 positive. And I'm recording will be there. It's your officer omunim for your consultation who been here say
that me about see number no so be o say Oma record how many positives.
They say MPs in the 17 positives. And
okay.
Parliamentary staff at the 151.
Hey, parliamentary staff no emu 151 now tested positive. Now parliamentary staff no mu nyina ya saying okay, and emu 151 are tested positive. And MPs 275 means we must 17 are tested positive.
17 are tested positive.
Okay, and on speaker agent so.
I don't know speaker agent so. And I suspended parliament. In the moment, saying appointment committee. You know, what came to China. Almost 50 Senama Vete, a minister designated for health, and a national security minister. Almost also one cost no money on my Juma. Now say 3 weeks, maybe don't somewhere almost 30 ministers in area. Now Parliament has now back now more approve a ministers.
Okay. It just a appointment committee in the free China they would continue with their work.
Yeah, they will continue with their
what it means, they say member be any committee in one what tested positive maybe. And as so be a tested be a be recusing the honor more cannot to us.
They be a tested positive and yeah, they are better committee so objection homa committee members na cannot my ayman. This a movie paper na first deputy speaker on the chairperson ma abuja phone ni
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Yeah, they say ombe notify Mr. Speaker na they was reconvene in parliament. No more matu. Nemo wakase staff wa omubeboa appointment committee mo modi omujuma pe and betimaba
parliament
support vetting of presidential nominees.
In the 3 weeks now parliament under suspension no then na speaker chirimu a ebesi inti omo be testing bi we dey ama wo mo na say omu nyina e mandatory isolation and say et saying
yeah and speaker of parliament actually is if you watch na call parliamentary staff na to MPs no health officials na every e dey mo be free no guchi aba nti obi bia nsan konkoye test ni bio no munhu afesu o si fumigation exercise to be call ha bebre e be so our parliament chamber but bibia obafabia nipa di omujuma o department by department offices bia no e dey say ombehwe na mo fumigate offices ni nyina let say mo be etare ba bia within 3 weeks we nyina obafumigate offices in office job 600 MPs in offices ni nyina e dey say because of parliament aka say fumigation exercise e be so na face testing so e dey on because no my testing no let say into akache to bibia amfa ne ho check
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Say Oman suspended a parliament and I say Usha businesses as say I want to be anya dia business free government or an executive arm in but here it is abenu some ha come rescue on my life it is the appointment committee ni pena mo wage mo ye wa ha it e hu be hia say on be suspended sitting na MPs na omun di juma bia appointment committee on be to akobo mo ho adwa e be obi kura 30% afi no recover we there so bet na akobo ho adwa woni fia the sigarin be crowd and one on to inform my spread and I say on money corner no go board if you are say akora o play school obi or yare ko of sister or the yare eco school nti who be here say speaker of parliament who be na we na kan say na mo mutu say COVID-19 so I know bit my brass and after to spread no entimi engine some crap parliament no omutimi to one am obi a be gafia.
Oh, okay. I mean no go my nase inti announce wa hwe ho yi why
Yo, Billy.
me da se pa bed nego asante asiedu and I'm in kind of the breaking story and it's the speaker of parliament our that parliament say parliament has been suspended for the next 3 weeks because of COVID-19 as we speak 275 MPs nemu 17 are tested positive and a parliamentary service staff our parliament so we move 151 and are tested positive me dane me ho aba na afi me ne same aba be wie ba we say good day obi. Please, can the NDC tell us why the petitioner did not mount the witness box? Was he evading cross-examination by Messrs. Amenuvo and Venerable Akoto Ampao? By the way, shouldn't the team of President Mahama be happy for the turn of events since they said they have a case? Didn't they say Mr. White's witness solidify their case? Why do they need the support, in quote, of the EC boss for? But could it be that the EC boss took a cue from the petitioner relative to a decision not to mount the witness box? Grandpa Asti, Ewo Menchia South in Kumasi. And he again says the NPP is willing to allow McMenu to stand in the witness box, as well as support the petitioner's request for the EC chair to be cross-examined, only if the petitioner, in this case President John Mahama, also mounts the witness box to be cross-examined on this petition. Grandpa Asti Bio, Ewo Menchia South. Musa Abattoir says Obi Sami Jemfi is on point. All the 3 witnesses of the petitioner so far have questioned her integrity and lack of transparency. So it's only fair for Ghanaians and the world at large to know the truth of whether she discharged her duty arbitrarily or capriciously. If you have a clean hand, you would never fear even the devil. Musa Abattoir is in Kumasi. And or the way let me see the other ones here. And then we say Obi, is lawyer Sami Jemfi trying to interpret to us another court proceeding other than what we all watched on TV? Is he by submission suggesting that until we all become lawyers like him, we cannot understand anything law? Please let him know that a competent court of jurisdiction is not the same as a party's headquarters where emotions and propaganda are allowed. I know he is a smart guy, but let me be quick to add that your ardent listeners and the good people of Ghana are equally smart. Jomo Pokwase Festus. And on the way a praying. Obi, isn't lawyer Sami Jemfi, why is he making this cacophonous noise to confuse the people outside of the Supreme Court? Protozwa ewo Chief of Staff Office. Nedia or no Edia Breyen enono. This one says, I recall Asiedun Ketia was asked about some figures and outcomes, and he said he didn't bring them to court. Why didn't he remind the court that his answers were in his witness statement presented to the court? Or did I miss something? Abdul Malik Kweku Bako. And on the way Abba. What's it? It escaped me really. Yeah, or say he recalls that Asiedun Ketia was asked about some figures and outcomes, and he said he didn't bring them to court. Why didn't he remind the court that his answers were in his witness statement presented to the court? Or did I miss something?
Because those figures are not in his witness statement. If Mr. Bako is referring to Justice Apau's
question, obviously.
Because that one was, have you done your own collation and what are the figures? And I think our lawyer subsequently has dealt with that question in court. And we have also provided some answers in press briefings and even on this platform.
In press briefings,
say over case now the Akoto court anymore. Nyema is here to prove our case, in our opinion.
Ekosiisen
figures in
okay.
Because Yes, say declaration na jimensa aye no and a unconstitutional per the figures and information in that very declaration. It is say you prove a case a figures and information with declaration ni mono. And I was here usually prove that the declaration is unconstitutional. We don't think that we need any extrinsic evidence. Say yeah, figures to come and prove it.
Okay, that was your case. Okay,
basically that's what we have said.
Okay,
that is irrelevant.
Yeah, my main first statement we in say President Akufo-Addo has appointed Major General Francis Edu Amanfo, retired, and Mr. Edward Kweku Asumeni as the National Security Coordinator and Deputy National Security Coordinator, respectively, according to a circular signed by Chief Director at the Ministry of National Security, Lieutenant Colonel Ababio Serebo, retired. The appointment took effect from Monday, 8th February 2021. Prior to his appointment, Joshua Treme occupied the office of the National Security Coordinator, and Joshua Treme is the man who died on the 18th of January 2021 at the Ghana East Municipal Hospital while receiving treatment for COVID-19. President Asanya a fresh appointment to replace the late National Security Coordinator. Same Jamfi Ewaha, Muntie we ma me ba would come back.